Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be reviewing The Flash 819 titled Negative Part 1. This is Part 1, the two-part season finale. It was amazing! And I'm still very hyped up from just the promo and the ending alone. And that whole, last, 10 minutes of the episode, just, a whole nother level. It was amazing. I'm going to be talking about it all. If you enjoy the video, hit the like button down below. Subscribe if you're new to Vacations On. Let's get right into the last Season 8 review of The Flash. So opened up in 2049 with Bart and Nora playing a video game using future VR tech. And then we see future Iris, which is the first time we've ever actually seen her. Well, this season at least. Calling Bart and Nora, and she started disappearing with time particles due to time sickness. And then our Iris, present day Iris, showed up in 2049. No idea how, no idea what's going on. The last thing Iris remembers is her being in her office when she disappeared the last time into the time stream. And then we learn that future Barry's off-road with Jay doing God knows what. And then Nora tried running Iris back to the past, but the still force is keeping her in the future. For whatever reason we find out later. Then it goes back to present day, and Meena is suited up in her amazing, very comic accurate suit. The suit has vitals and comms like Barry's is the reason why they made it, to make sure that Meena didn't, die or anything while she's, running at super speed. Meena started using the treadmill, and she's going Mach 1.7, just like what Barry was doing when he first started out. But her heart rate's speeding up because she's pushing herself too much. She's trying to hit Mach 2. She can't do that yet. Meena got angry and realized it and then sped off because she thought she was going to start acting out again with the negative speed force. Barry catches up to her, and Meena ended up going into an alley, and Barry unmasks himself in front of Meena. Now, I want to point out, this entire season we've had, I think, four. We've had 4 CGI mask ups and downs. What I mean by that, in 801, 805, 817, 816, or sorry, not that, 807, and now this one. The other 3 episodes where Barry's done the nanotech mask up and down, it's looked good, besides 801. It kind of looked weird. But it didn't really look like Barry's mask. It looked like a whole new mask for Barry when he was doing it. It actually looked like Barry's mask in this scene. So I'm glad the production team, the CGI team, actually got to look like Barry's mask. The reason why I'm assuming it didn't is because the CGI was hard to fit Barry's mask. But it really did look like that was Barry's legit mask, and it just came on and off. I wish that's what it looked at the entire time this season, but I'm glad they finally got it, especially in this episode, and hopefully it'll stay that way in season 9 when they use the same thing over and over and over. I would say it takes time to perfect things. I think that was pretty damn perfect. And Barry's telling Meena that, she's a hero, and she already is. And Barry mentions how ordinary he is, being, a guy with a badge, working with the police. Like, he's an ordinary human being. He has a job. He has a, living. He does that. Just like Meena. And he manages to convince her to keep on training. And Barry says Meena should call herself Fast Track, because she already has a superhero name, Fast Track, and she goes with it. So, I'm very glad that's what they're going with. Then it goes back to Lian with Dion and our Thawne, Tom's Thawne, on Lian in the prison. And, sorry, I'm trying really hard to hold my excitement right now because I'm overly hyped up right now just from the, I'm sorry, I'm so, okay, I'm really holding it back right now. A lot of excitement holding back right now. I really want to geek out, but anyways, it goes back to Dion and Tom's Thawne and on Lian, and Dion says Thawne will get everything back, but Thawne's life has to be taken for all of what he wants, and Dion kills Thawne. he ages him by like 100 years, and he's just a corpse lying there on Lian Yu. And then there's readings from Lian Yu that Star Labs gets, and it's Dion's energy. Barry goes and finds out that Thawne is actually dead by Dion. And the time sickness, from what we're assuming, is screwing with Dion. But then we learned that it's actually negative forces, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Then it goes to Joe's house. Joe's pissed off that Cecile went on patrol that night, which we saw at the end of 818, which she saved that one person. Cecile ended up taking Top's powers, so she can do that now, take people's powers, or stop them at least. Then it goes back to 2049 with Joanne, aka Jay's wife. And she's looking at Iris's cells, and there's negative tachyons in Iris causing the time sickness. So we finally know what the hell is causing the time sickness. Thank God. And we all know, we know why she's had this time sickness. We know why it has been happening for the past 2 years. We got that answer. I said it a billion times. Eric Wallace knows what he's doing. He knew from the get-go. He's been working on season 8 for the past 2 years. He knew where this would all end up. He knew from the get-go, and this is where it was headed, and I love it. But nonetheless, Iris can see all the forces in Barry's apartment in the loft, just like looking at a certain direction, and the sky's just green. They're not doing anything, but she can see them. And where it's Dion, Esperanza, and the Sage Force, whatever. Him, I don't remember his name. Alcifer, whatever. I don't remember his name. I don't really care. Then Nora and Bart agree to go get President Barry and fill him in, but Bart decides to stay, and Nora decides to go because she knows more about this than Bart, because, you know, she's been through it. But this is actually kind of the first time we've actually seen Bart, like, not making a lot of jokes. Like, he's being dead serious. And that's when you can tell, like, okay, this is, like, bad, you know? Like, this is not, you know, something we can really joke around with. Like, he's being dead serious, and he's dead worried about what's going to happen to Iris. And you can see that. I'm really glad they went down that route with Bart, because it should be that way. It shouldn't be him cracking jokes when his own mother's going to die and old Thomas being screwed up. Like, it should be that way. Then Meena is still pushing herself to be faster. Dion, Esperanza, and Psyche all appear in Fast Track Labs to kill Matt's Thawne. Because he's the, I'm forgetting what they call him. I'll talk about it in a minute. Meena tried running Thawne out, and Dion froze them in super speed, which Meena wasn't really moving that fast. And then Psyche can feel Barry moving in at super speed. He can feel him moving, and Dion freezes him as he tries to punch him, and then Barry managed to control his speed and move. Not really fast. If you look, he can only turn his head, and then lightning starts flickering in his eyes and all over his body. His body wasn't moving. He was just able to control his speed while he was in frozen time. Which technically means he can move as fast as the forces on some level. And then Barry did the full power unleashed movie, which they've been doing a lot this season. I love it. And it took the forces out, and then the forces woke up and got up. And then Barry's talking about Speed Force Nora, what happened to her, because he's, you know, what the hell happened. And they said they managed to take her out. And they are forces. So what that means is that this is the negative Still Force, negative Stage Force, negative Psych Force, Stage Force, whatever. These are the negative versions of them. Now, why it's not like Barry and Thawne, like where it's two different people? Why is the same person just like a mirrored version? I don't know. I don't mind it. Maybe they just couldn't find anyone to really fit who would, you know, their villains be. And the storyline wouldn't really add up that way, like it does now. But I kind of like it. Matt's Thawne apparently is making the forces weak, which is what they said. And then Dion makes the forces in himself disappear in time particles, and they're gone. Excess end up going to Star Labs. Barry end up, like, losing his, like, energy. I'm assuming it's because he managed, like, to outrun the forces, and using all that energy he had then managed to make him, like, feel drained a little bit. But also the regular forces are being affected a little bit. Not much, but it's the point where Barry just fighting negative forces and managed to drain him a little bit. That's what that was. Like I said in the promo, it looked like Barry's losing his speed. He wasn't. It was, full on him just, losing energy. Not speed, just like human energy. Like he wore himself out. Then it goes to Mark and Kate. This is kind of boring part of the episode, surprisingly, because we had a lot of Cecile stuff. Working on Frost turning case that's in the pod that Mark worked on to bring Frost back. And to only bring Frost's voice back, they will need to make her a whole new body. That's the only thing this episode that was really kind of boring, and I think I was only one scene. I didn't really care for it. I didn't really care for the story at all, because I'm like, why? Just end it. That's the one bad thing about this episode, and the last several episodes. Bringing Frost back, I don't get it. Like, just leave her dead. You had a whole episode about it. Just, let her be. Like, God, we don't need to bring her back. But nonetheless, Barry, Chester, and Liger talk to Excess, and she fills them all in on what's going on with Iris. The Forces said Thawne's not the Avatar. So there's another pawn here that we do find out later who it is. The Forces, not the Liger Forces, so the negative forces already said. When Bear took away Thawne's speed in 805, it affected the Forces, the negative forces. Like I said, there's going to be a connection here. And there was. They want to weaken the good forces, as in the speed force, the still force, the sage force, the strength force, the good ones actually amp up Barry. So they can get what they want done. Because of what Barry did, they want to bring that pain to him now. The time sickness was put in the Iris by force by the negative forces. If the negative forces secede, all species across all time, all universes will be done like that. There will be no more species because the Speed Force wants to be dead, and there's nothing they can do about it. And Barry's weakened. He's not 100% like, he just doesn't have a lot of energy. He's a lot better than what he was, but he's still, not 100%. And then Barry tells Nora to go back to 2049 to protect Iris with Bart in case she does lose her speed. She's there. And in case the Forces show up to attack Iris, they have some line defense. It wouldn't really do anything, but, that way Iris is protected in some way. Now Barry has to fight the three gods. And I said this a couple times tonight. This feels like a 4-storyline redemption arc, and it delivered. I really do think we're going to actually have Barry fighting the Forces in 7, but because of COVID, it got screwed over. Eric Wallace, I think, wanted to show us that could have worked, and he proved that. Eric Wallace proved that this is going to be that story arc, and he showed it. He proved it. And that was amazing. I'm so glad that he did this. Then it goes to Barry and Star Labs looking at screens with different colors on it. And it's the Forces, as I predicted in my promo breakdown. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Jones and Cecile Aaron Heiss working on how her powers work. She took an Armada's powers and, whatever. Iris can end up resting in 2049 because she had another episode. And she might not survive another attack. So this is getting more serious and serious by the minute. It's up to Barry to stop the Forces that will end up saving Iris. Thawne and Meena are in the Speed Lab. Speed Lab. Meena feels bad because she never wanted to be a speedster. Thawne did, so she feels bad. Thawne mentions his dream is what Meena is doing right now, fighting along with Flash and saving people. Meena wants to share her speed with him, and then Barry walks in unmasked, so Thawne knows Barry's the Flash. I don't think that's a big no-brainer. I think Meena would have told him at some point, or Barry revealed himself. I think it's fair to say we can trust this Thawne, right? I trust Barry. Barry trusts him. I trust Barry. I trust Thawne. That's how it's working. I'm going with it. I didn't mind it. Bear's going to teach Meena how to share speeds, and then there's a force storm happening over the city. Any reminders? Season 7. But it's actually better this time. It's not a whole train wreck. Team flies to that Fast Track Labs. Meena's powering up. The negative forces are heading right towards them. Barry's training Meena how to share her speed with Thawne. And Bear gives Masson a suit ring, aka a reverse flash suit. Which one, we find out later. Allegra, Chester, and Cecile greet the forces as they come in. Meena starts sharing her speed with Maston. Cecile managed to control Dion's powers and stop him from snapping them away. Chester Blodus runs down the trap. Sight disappeared like it was after him. Thawne felt hate and anger. And at this moment, I thought he was going to become the Reverse Flash. I really full on thought that he was going to become evil and fight Barry and Meena. But Barry told them they need to help each other find a balance, and they end up doing that. The forces break free from Allegra, Chester, and Cecile. Barry saved them, and they're in the street, and Thawne suited up in the OG Reverse Flash suit, which he looked amazing in, by the way. He always does. And Meena showed up as well to fight alongside Barry against the forces. It was an amazing scene. Barry knocked down the Strength and Sage Force by doing an amazing move, amazing lightning throw. It was amazing CGI. I loved it. And then Iris woke up. And Dion ended up knocking down Meena and Thawne as well. Iris woke up. She said the timeline is changing. Everything's changing. She sees Thawne dying by Dion. Tom's Thawne that died by Dion. She saw it. She saw what Dion's seeing. Meena and Thawne end up getting back up. And Barry brings Meena and Thawne into Flash time, using like what we saw Barry do with Cisco and Caitlin season 4. And with Iris several times. To run down the plan and tells him to distract the forces so Barry does something powerful. Then Iris says the sacrifice was never Thawne. And things are heating up. Like, everything's going into motion right now. We're like, what the hell's going on? Meena and Thawne decide to force by running around them. Barry does like a billion-mile-an-hour yard run. Runs back and throws his lightning, and it's really powerful. And then Dion brings Iris in front of that lightning strike that was way powerful than Barry's ever done before. And the sacrifice was Iris. And the forces disappear. Iris is dead now. And Barry killed her by his own lightning. And then Iris disappears in the time particles. The particles go into Maston. And then his face just starts getting ripped off. Like, it was weird. And you can hear Meena screaming. She's horrified. Why wouldn't you be? And then Tom Thawne comes out of Matt Stone, and he's back. He has super speed. He has the red lightning. He is in the season 8 Reverse Flash that we got in Armageddon. He is back. Full-fledged back. Matt Stone died. Iris died. To bring Tom Stone back. Full-fledged force. What the hell? My jaw dropped when Iris died. Because I knew in the heartbeat that she was dead by Barry's strike. And then when Tom literally emerged from Matt Stone, it was the most weird way to do it. But it was amazing. My jaw dropped. Like, holy crap. This was amazing. The finale next week is going to be amazing. The promo was amazing. I'm going to do a full promo breakdown of it, probably right after this, honestly, because I'm so hyped up for it. I want to keep that going. But holy crap, this episode was amazing. Easily the best episode of the season. It was right up there right next to 802. I mean, the intensity, the writing, the acting was amazing. The CGI was amazing. This felt like a finale, as it should. This is already better than any other season's finales by far. And we're not even at the finale. We're at the first part of it. Easily the best finale in the entire show. 820 can easily be 100 times better if it's done right. And I know it will be. I'm not going to say this is my favorite season yet. I'm saving that for 820 because I want to be 100% sure. But easily second favorite season. And this is the best storyline The Flash has ever had on the show, period. I loved this episode. It was amazing. Just pure amazing. I don't care. Everything was great. Even as the Seal stuff was great, which I didn't really talk about because I was so hyped up. I wanted to get to the ending of my review because I want to talk about Tom and Matt. This is what the hell happened there. But holy crap. Like, everything was amazing besides that Caitlyn stuff. Like, I never really cared for it. But God, everything was amazing. And I know I keep saying this. I know people are somewhat sick of me saying this. But Eric Wallace, you are doing an amazing job. And we are finally, after 2 years of Eric Wallace being screwed over by COVID, after season 6A, after Crisis, the Mirror Arc, the Forces storyline, the Godspeed arc being so heavily screwed over, we are finally seeing what Eric Wallace can do. The Force storyline just got redeemed. The Godspeed arc got redeemed earlier this season. Eric Wallace got redeemed himself this entire season, and he has proved that. He has proved that he can save the Flash from after the 8 years of constant bullcrap, and he can bring this show to what it should have been over the last 8 years. I'm losing my voice. Eric Wallace is amazing. And I'm not saying that because of hype. I have meant it every time I've said it. Thank you, Eric Wallace, so much for this amazing finale, for the first part finale. Thank you so much for this amazing season. Ugh, I love this episode so much. I'm still like so hyped up. Like, I've never been this excited for The Flash, and God knows how many years. Season 9's been amazing. 818 really hyped me up. 819 was just 100 times better than me. I am overly hyped up right now. I think I'm overly hyped up, but at the same time, I'm glad I am because this is just amazing. Everything was amazing this episode. So, yeah. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know in the comments down below your opinions of the entire episode. The entire amazing episode. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. Have a good night. Stay safe. And I'll see you guys for my 820. The final promo breakdown of Season 8 that I'll be doing. Thank you guys for watching. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.